Hello, welcome in another important video. So in this video, we will see how to create collection of NFTs. So as we know that there is a lot of hype going on around NFT and people are making real money out of it. So we'll see how to generate this NFT collection using Programmg. So before we start with creating different NFTs, we will need different layers of our character, and I'm using Ubuntu operating system. So here is one software with the name GNU. You will get that in Windows operating system as well. So what we need to do here is we need to create first character. We will create different layers and we will add those layers in our code. So our code will automatically create different combinations of those layers. So let's see how this works. So let me quickly create new project, and I'm keeping this height and width for 512 pixels. You can change it and you can keep it anyway according to your convenience, but the program that we are going to be using will have canvas of 512 pixels, so I will suggest you to not to change this and try to create your character in this 512 pixels itself. And another thing that we need to make sure is in advanced options, you will get this transparency option. Just keep this selected. Reason being, whatever the character we will try to draw, it should have transparent background. Alright, so we are good. Let's click on OK, and you can see this. There are a lot of different options in layers. You can add new layers, and there are different menus available here. So we are going to draw some basic characters. So we will need, so on the right hand side you will get different types of brush, so you can certainly try it out. So there is a round and there is a different shapes. Also there are star, and you can also customize few other options, right? For our use case, I'm going to use different style of brush, and it will be this star. All right, and we will try to create octopus, which is having different colors combination, and we'll try to give some assets on the top of that octopus, which will be the rare. So whoever will receive that octopus with different assets, that particular NFT will be more valuable. That's the basic idea behind it. Let's try to draw some basic abstract. So here is the octopus anime I'm trying to draw, and it will have 3 legs. I hope this is looking like octopus. Okay, so now this octopus must have, let's quickly add one more layer, and alright, just delete this because we want layer with transparency. So let's keep this just below it, and as you can see, there are both layers are visible now. So that's why whatever I'll draw on the layer 2 will be available and visible on our canvas. So let's make sure that whichever the layer you are trying to draw your eyes should be selected, and let's try to draw eyes here. So yeah, this is how it is looking like, and along with eyes we will draw some facial expressions. So this will be different in different layers. So this is how we're going to create different layers, right? Let's quickly add one more layer, and now this time I will keep a second layer as a disabled, and you can see we got that surrounding, and with the help of that we can create eyes with different color combinations. So here I'm trying to use color blue. You can pretty much use any different color according to your wish. And this time we will create different facial expression. So this will be another layer. Let's create another layer. And while creating layers, you can change name of the layers here itself, but for now we will keep this by default, and we will change this layer names later on whenever we will try to use that images in our code. And you can try out different layer combinations. You can get multiple color options here. You can just certainly try it out. Alright, so I'm doing the same process. For layer 2, this time I'm using color. I'm using gold color. So this will be super rare. We will keep this 20% combinations. So that's enough for the facial expressions. Now we will create another layer with the same body shape but with the different colors. So we have 3 combinations of facial expressions, and then we have 3 different combinations of different body colors, and we will add few more assets on the top of it. So this is how we will be able to create a different combinations, right? So I'm using first layer as a reference to create same exact shape but with different color. So you can certainly follow this technique. Alright, so now we have character with yellow background. Let's create another one. Here I'm choosing neon color. So this is also looking good. So we are done with different combinations. Now we want to create different shapes on top of this octopus, or in other words we can say we want to give different assets for our octopus. So let's try to give one hat. So this is how it will look like. So we have 2 hats with neon color and one is golden color. So now it's time to export the created layers as PNG images, because we will need those images in our code, right? So I'm pretty new with this software, so I really don't know how to export this images in a bunch. So I'm gonna export it one by one. So it will take a little more time. So I'll keep this pretty much fast forwarded. The only thing that we need to remember while exporting is we'll need to change this name, and we'll need to put one hashtag, and after that we will need to put any number, and this number will be considered as how rare this layer will get used while creating different NFTs combination. So if you keep this number in near around 10 or 20, so this will be super rare, and if you keep this at 100, so it will be super general layer, right? So it will get used more than the layers which has less combinations, which has less numbers. So that's the pretty basic idea behind it. And okay, so now the question is, how are we going to generate different NFTs using these combinations? So now the answer to this question is, there is one open source project which name is 𝗏𝗡. You can even find this on YouTube as well. So this community creating a lot of different types of projects in NFTs and surrounded with. So we are going to use this library which name is 𝗏𝗡's art engine, and all we need to do is we need to clone this library in our local machine so that we can put our local data, right? So here we have NFT folder. I'll create another folder for this code, and let's open new terminal and use one command, say git clone and this 𝗏𝗡's art engine, right? So this is the Node.js code, and inside of it you will get to see they're using canvas to create different layers images, and we can also put your own inputs in that. We'll see this later on, but for now let's just start with installing all the dependencies. So in order to install it, you will need to run one command, npm install. So this should have, okay, so in order to run this program you must have Node.js installed in your machine. So you can go to Node.js website and get it installed. It is by following basic steps you will get that installed in your local machine. So we have done with installing all dependencies. Now it's time to edit or see what do we have in code. So the first thing that we need to see in any Node.js code is package.json file. So this file basically holds information about what sort of packages this project are using. And okay, and another thing that we need to look into is the main file. So in our case, in this project, index.js is our main file, and this file is calling two functions. One is build setup and start creating. So this file is, the main reference to this file is main.js file, which is inside src folder, and this is basically holding the major chunk of code, right? So this code has multiple functions than our requirement. We just want to create NFTs, but this code also provides you to upload your created NFTs on the big platforms such as OpenSea. Okay, so we'll see how to upload our created NFTs on OpenSea, but for now let's just stick around with creating. If you go inside package.json file, you will see there are a bunch of different commands that you can use. One is generate, another one is build. There is rarity, preview, pixelate, update info, and preview gif. So all those commands are super helpful and they give different functionalities. So for now, let's just run this generate command, and this generate command will generate default images what they have provided. So this generate command will create one folder, and the folder name is build, and inside of it you will see two folders. One is images and the JSON. So JSON, so images, you can see there is a different combinations of eyes and inside of. So in case if you're wondering where this image is coming from, so there is one folder in code which is layers, and they have basically given all different PNGs in different folders, and code is making different combinations. So code is making different combinations to select those images. Just to be more clear about this, let's select this 2.png image, and you can see it has purple background which is coming from this background folder, and it has, and we get final output as a single PNG image with the combination of multiple PNG images. This time we want to generate our own combinations of images. So let's remove this build folder. Right, so now this build folder has gone, and to generate our own images we need to make changes in config.js folder. But before that, let's just copy the layers which we have created. So we have this hat, skeleton, and smile layers. So we'll put that in this layers folder. So you can see there is already a lot of other folders. So let me quickly rename this, and let's create our own layers folder, right? So make sure that you are keeping same name so that you don't need to make too much changes in a code. Okay, so the only file that we are going to make changes is config.js file, and this has multiple layers configurations. So you can see they have background layer, which will be the first layer canvas will draw, and on the top of it you will create eyeball, and you will then add multiple images of Irish, then shine, and then the bottom lead, top lead. So this is all top to bottom approach, where you need to put background images first, and then whatever the images that you want on the top, you need to keep that sequence accordingly, right? So we have layers with hat, which will be the topmost layer. So we'll keep this hat in a third position, but the first layer will be the skeleton of octopus, and then the second layer will be the smile, and the third layer will be the asset layer, which is hat. So you just have 3 different layers. So that's pretty much it. We don't need to touch any other code. Let me quickly run one command. Let me quickly run this same command, npm run generate, and this command will generate build folder again if everything goes well. So you can see build folder created, and if I look into this image, you can see there is octopus which has hat, and you can see they have multiple combinations with different colors, and this is all depends on what combinations you have provided. Let's say if I want to generate images more than 5, so I need to change this grow edition size parameter. Let's keep this 25 and let's run the command. So now you can see we got only 18 images created. Now this is all because the combinations. Let me show how this combination works. So we have two images with asset, let's say 2, and then we have, let's say, multiply, okay, and we have 3 images of skeleton, let's say 3, and let's multiply this with 3 images of smile. If I calculate this, so there will be an 18. So now this is nothing but all possible combinations of these images, right? So it depends on how much layers you are providing. Accordingly, the number of possible combinations will get increased. So if I add one more layer here, if I add one more image here, so the number of combinations will be 24. So let's see these images. You can see, so if I increase one image, so it will be combination of 24. So this is how you can certainly add more images in case if you want create big collection, right? Okay, so let's have a look into the output, how this combination is, how our code is understanding different combinations. So if I go inside this layers folder and let's click on this hat, we have given name with different numbers. You can see this, there is hash connecting with numbers, and this is nothing but different combinations. So you can see there is more golden caps than the neon caps, right? So this is all because we kept rarity of this neon cap is. So let me quickly change this combination. Let's say I want to keep this super rare and I don't want this to get generated so often, so I can regenerate our collection. And if I see this, so you can see we have all golden caps, just that there are few with the neon color. So this works on the number that you are providing with the file name, and this JSON folder holds the metadata which we will need when we will try to upload our NFTs on OpenSea. Well, this is how we can generate our own NFT collection, and in next video we will see how to put that created collection on OpenSea. I think that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.